Hello everyone and welcome to PH Gaming, and today we start a new series of Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. So this is episode 1 and welcome. So today obviously we're going to just be starting out, so we're just going to start a new career here and we're going to call it YouTube Career, and we're going to use our standard flag. So obviously, seeing as Airport CAO series is now on hiatus until further notice, it will come back. Obviously it all depends on when new updates for the game come out. We needed something else to do, so I decided Kerbal Space Program was quite popular on my channel so far, and I figured it would be a good thing to do. So I've just gone into the contracts, into the mission control here, and picked 2 contracts which gather science data from Kerbin and launch our first vessel. Now I do apologise for the delay in this. I did actually film this twice earlier but due to quality with regards to frame rate, I actually deleted them. I wasn't happy with them and didn't want to put something out that I wasn't okay with. So let's get on anyway. So I'm just going to move this in. Just like so. Just protect it from any reheating on re-entry when we do finally launch this. So I'm just spending 1,400 here. Yeah, so first time figured I had solved the issue because I'd just pumped all the settings up to full, forgetting that I've only got a 3 gigabyte 1060 graphics card. So just gathering some science data here, and thought I had. So I thought that fixed it. Unfortunately, I then filmed episode 1 again. And then when it came to the end of the last mission of the episode, realised that it was still happening, and it was due to, I believe, looking at it so far, keeping an eye on my FPS for the recording, that it was due to a couple of environmental graphics mods that I had installed, which normally, when obviously I'm not recording, would be fine. Haven't had these on, graphics mods on, whilst streaming previously or creating other episodes. There's something I'd installed over the last couple of days and they were fine, just normal gameplay. But when it came to recording as well, back then my frame rate dropped to less than 10, which obviously when you're trying to watch something is not good. So that gave us 8.9 science and 46,920 funds without even launching a vessel. We spent 1,400, most of which we recovered back, and we got some money for milestones. So we got 6,400, 8,000 there, another 6,400 and 4,160. So we now can go and grab some engines and stuff. So that's that. And we can now launch our first vessel. So first things first, gonna use a light solid rocket booster, and we're gonna need a parachute. Do we have any other science? I still don't get what these really do. Anyone could let me know, that would be much appreciated, because I've never known really what to do with those and if they help at all. So now I'm going to launch a rocket for the first time. Must check my staging, which would have been wrong. There we go. Parachute would have deployed at the same time as the rocket and we'd have ended up swinging around doing not a lot of anything. So let's launch. There we go, so we can get crew report and observe mystery goo. Can't EVA whilst in space. Or in air even. And as you can see, we've got quite a few monies there and a few science as well. Just for doing this. Just going to time warp here. Can only go to ×4 in the atmosphere. And we start to fall to the ground. I'm just going to deploy my parachute and time warp again. So we're going to come down very close to the launch pad. Come on, come on. Cut that fine. Thought it was going to nosedive straight into the floor then. Luckily, we were saved by a parachute. There we go. Jebediah lives to fly another day. So, next. So that gave us 27 science. We gained another 15.5 there. Got all of these funds back for returning there. So 1,938 funds recovered. And then 20 total reputation there. So looking at this, just going to compare how much that costs. We got almost all of the cost of this rocket back. So we can now go and get some more engineering stuff. And yeah, we'll go for this one, I think. Yeah. What do we go for? We'll go for this one. It's got stuff to give me extras. Or do we? No, we'll go for this one. So, next target is to escape the atmosphere. And we can do this quite easily, in all honesty. Let's just delete that. No thermals yet. We do have a coupler, decoupler even. And we're going to use a big solid rocket motor. So, just going to put that to 50% on. 50% power. I'm just going to delete all of these so we can see what we're getting each time. And aerodynamics. I'm just going to put 6 fins at the bottom. Hopefully that'll help a little bit at least with some stability. Just to keep it pointing in the right direction. I'm hoping. That's the theory anyway. So, just going to launch this now. Nice smooth takeoff, lift off, whatever you want to call it. Just pointing directly upwards. I'm hoping this is actually enough to get us out of the atmosphere, but I'm also not entirely convinced. We're about halfway through our solid fuel. Perhaps this is approaching 20,000 kilometers. Nearly 40,000 kilometers and quarter fuel left. 60. 70. We're going to leave the atmosphere. Still got 100 fuel left, an eighth of our fuel. Over 100. 150. 60. 70. 80. 90. nearly 200,000 meters. So just going to wait until we almost leave the atmosphere. So we have broken some speed records here and altitude records as well. So only into our second launch. And then we can separate. So yes, I could get lots of science now. I'm actually going to hold off until we get back into the atmosphere. So this could get quite warm, okay, just because we've gone quite high. Crew report, observation, keep that. Oh, I didn't put the thermometer on. Come on, slow down, slow down, slow down. Yes. Just make sure we kept that. And reviewing that data as well. We got that one. Keep that. It's just going to time warp now that we've got our something went bang. So we left space. Oh, we went into space. There we go. And just going to do an EVA as well and do a report just to get a couple more and recover. That's our second launch done. So that's three contracts complete. Now have another 42 science, 249,000 funds and 51 reputation. So we're going to right click and upgrade that and also upgrade that. Let's see what we can do now. So we want some stability enhancements, and survivability is always helpful. And then the next lot are all 45 each. So now we can upgrade this rocket to get us into orbit. So we're going to do away with that and that. First thing we want, heat shield. And then we want science. Science is really... Oh, what have I done there? Did wonder then. Caught a button. Didn't know what it was. There we go. Just then a decoupler. Fuel tank can have one of those. And then an engine, which is going to be... So you're going to have two of those. And a little engine. So that gives us 1878 meters per second on its own. Then we're going to go with 4 more. There we go. And there's that. But that on its own does not give us enough delta V. So we need to build some boosters. I'm going to do liquid fueled if I can. And then that'll be 4. then those ones as well. That gives us 26, and then 2 nose cones just to keep us aerodynamic, and they can be white, so can these. There we go. So that's going to be our basic rocket. We have 2 more parts if needed, and I did have a thought a little while ago, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. Right, so we now have 3.25 TWR. We don't need that much. So we're going to go 4,000. Let's give it a go. See if that gives us enough delta V. Waiting for our apparatus to come up. Should have fairly good control here because of the 3 engines. Gimbal. Ooh, wrong way. Just keep that there and we'll try and rotate that background. Wrong way. Stop doing this. So these are going to go now. Shut down our engine now. So there we are, on our way out of the atmosphere. We cannot yet do manoeuvre nodes, we're not that advanced. Just going to wait until we get out of the atmosphere and then do a second engine burn. So looking good so far. Inclination is very close to 0, which is perfect. And then what we're going to do, as soon as we get out of space and get our orbit sorted, we're going to do some science. Let's see how we do. There we go, we're in orbit. We have achieved orbit, even if it is a very much elliptical. It's quite an elliptical orbit. I'm just going to save the rest of our fuel. Temperature, yeah. Our pressure data. There we go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come round to this side and then we're going to do a retrograde burn. So I'm just going to time warp to there. That'll do. And we're just going to retrograde until this point hits roughly 30,000. There we go. So, there we go. So now we're going to go point radial out, or radial in even, and stage. The reason we do that is it stops the should help with reducing the risk of that part coming back and colliding with us on re-entry. If you do it in prograde or retrograde, especially if you do it in the prograde direction, that can cause that very badly. So there we go. I've just turned off our stability assist there. The reason for that is the capsule here, as mentioned in the rocketry basics video, is actually self-stabilizing because of its shape. So just going to let this now descend down into the atmosphere. Obviously, being a different biome, we will be letting it doing an EVA at the end to do an EVA report. So you do need to upgrade. There's one of the buildings you need to upgrade in order to be able to do surface samples, which actually does get you quite a lot of science. So it looks like we'll be landing at sea, which is fine. Quite happy that my the recording frame rate is not dropping at all now either. So those incompatible mods, graphical mods, were actually really hurting performance quite majorly. Now, according to this, my CPU hasn't gone over 10%. There we go, still doing 4 times. Just going to go to here, let the rocket come down, and for the last 100 or so meters, I'm just going to let it, oh, there we go, straight in. Now we're going to EVA report, grab that, board, and recover. So that's our orbital mission done. Actually completed this a bit sooner than I had thought, so we'll do another mission if we can. We've got 63 science, 185 funds, 185,000, and Jebediah Kerbal Kerman. It's advanced to level 1. And we have a reputation of 66. So, let's have a look. Got loads of money again from there. So, which one is it? That one. From EVAs. So we need that. Spacewalk in orbit of Kerbal. Awesome. So, we can now look at doing some more advanced rocketry. Let's do that one. Could have done this one, but that's fine. That'll be our next one. Basic science. So how much is it to upgrade the VAB? 225. So I need to get that one in order to increase the size of my rockets. So I'm wondering if I just take these off for a second. I'm thinking I can replace this. Right, so currently we've got 3 of those. Just it compares size of those. So I'm thinking 3 of those can be there, and then 2 of them can be there. Yeah. So I'm going to rebuild this now with a little bit more fuel. Again, go on white. Yeah. And then I don't know what that is. Some weird noises going on next door. Oh, so we want to be this side. So reducing our part count here a bit as well by using bigger fuel tanks that have been made available. Just a shame we haven't got fuel cross-feed stuff yet. And then a couple more swivel engines. So it gives us 5,000 now. And what we can actually do is reduce this by 70. To 70, and these can come down to 90. Now you can go together. Yeah, you see. I want to come down to 50 on that one, I think. And then and then 60 on those. So 50 and 60. Let's launch this vessel. We've still reduced our part count, so have we got any science stuff that we haven't got on there? I think it's all on there, isn't it? We can now do EVAs in space. We can actually add a drogue chute, just for a little bit of added safety. In the day, safety is number 1 concern when building rockets nowadays. Well, in real life. So this may not have been as eventful as you might have thought or liked. Not as many explosions as you would normally expect in Kerbal. But we are off. So we now have prograde and retrograde on the SAS control. Stabilising that now. Give ourselves a bit more oomph. That'll do. Long line. So we actually need to be all the way over here already. Literally side on it now. So I left it far too late to start my gravity turn. But what I'm now doing is obviously trying to correct that by basically just flying sideways or pointing sideways. So nearly out of the atmosphere. So this is going to get us out of the atmosphere on its own. This one gets to about 80. We're in a little bit of a higher orbit now. There we go. I'm just going to point as prograde. So just waiting for our periapsis to come up to above 70. Although I'm going to hold off doing that for a minute because I now want to warp forward a bit more, get us nearer to our periapsis before we start our burn again. There we go. Just going to complete one orbit now, get us back round to the light side so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Observe that. Don't get a lot of science from these at the minute because we've already done them. So I'm just going to reset that one because they've already been used. Crew report that. Nope, going to reset that. So I'm going to wait until we get back into the... And an EVA! Hello! 8 science from that. board there. And I'm just going to point ourselves retrograde, so against the direction of travel. And I'm going to deorbit. It looks like we're going to deorbit just on this side. So I'm just going to try and get my deorbit this way. Just going to see if I can point it towards. So I'm just going anti-normal. There we go. Just going to point it a little bit more retrograde. Just going to disable that. I'm just going to time warp us through here. So once we've done this, we will be ending this episode. Thank you very much for joining. If you have, yeah. So let's just finish this off. Very close to the. So I think our airfield is just here. I think we're just going to come short of that. So there we are. We can see the airfield there. So I'll log the pressure data here and log the temperature here instead. Fast forward through this as well. Just stopping that circularizer roll. So there we go, we've actually EVA'd in orbit. We've got to orbit, we've launched our first couple of vessels, and we're now about to hit the ground. So just slowing it down for the last few hundred meters. 6 meters per second. And we have landed. And just go back and see what that got us. So we now have 49 science, 148,000 funds, and 76 reputation. So we're just going to spend our science here. I'm going to use this one to get us some science data. We can use that. We can use that. That will keep us there. Some more transmitters. There we go. Next will be some aircraft parts. Then we start getting MechJeb stuff. There we go. So that concludes this episode. Thank you very much for joining. If you liked this video, you know what to do. If you didn't, equally, please do that. Comments below. Obviously, please feel free to do so. If there's anything you would have done differently, maybe that could be an idea to comment. Let me know. Please do subscribe. Subscriptions are key to this whole thing. Obviously, it's a YouTube channel. And thank you very much for joining again. Don't forget to check out our Twitter page for notifications on new videos as well. And I'll also post up the odd link to videos that I find really interesting and I think might interest others as well. Did one today from Joe Scott about, it was basically comparing gasoline vehicles or fossil fuel powered vehicles, internal combustion engines, to electric vehicles, so your Teslas, your battery operated cars, and hydrogen fuel cell, which to be honest I thought was going to be the way to go, but Joe Scott compares them all and does it rather well, I think. So thank you very much again for joining me, and goodbye.